the 6 hours at the Glen by Salins, and they hit the green flag.
A little lock up there from the number 24 machine, the BMW. Delatraz flies to the outside lane, gets on that racing lane and takes the lead down into turn 1.
Great start by Delatraz, gets the jump over Van de Zandt, and it wasn't even close, Cal, into turn 1.
Side by side there with the third car, that's the Whelen Engineering machine, and Phil Hansen, who had an awesome qualifying run aboard the number 85, the bright yellow JDC Miller Porsche.
There you see on the right-hand side all of the GT cars lined up together. GTD Pro followed by the GTD cars. As the GTP cars, now Delatraz through the inner loop. There's a green flag for the GT cars.
Late green flag for GT, and that once past the line, look at the aggressiveness you see a little bit further back.
Ross Gunn there down to the inside aboard that deep blue, purpley colored Aston Martin there. He has to slide back into P3. Alex Sims aboard the number 3 had a solid start.
And remember, this race car was a race-winning race car a year ago here in the 6 hours until unfortunately getting caught up with incidents. We've got our first one of the day here with one of the LMP2 machines.
That's Dwight Merriman in that blue number 18 LMP2 car there.
That's not going to work. And it didn't.
Eric Luggs on board the 81 Dragon speed entry there. Just got to give each other a little bit of racing room. At the same time, we saw Phil Hansen made a monster move around the outside of Delatraz in the very same corner to take over P2 momentarily.
And he's still stuck.
Chris Wilner told us that Renger Van de Zandt wanted to get out front, stay in control. He's got control of the restart. Back to green at Watkins Glen.
So impressed with Hansen there aboard the JDC Miller Porsche just behind that bright yellow number 85, but we saw Van de Zandt just leap away from the field last time. Oh, and a wiggle there into turn 1.
He's wide. Hansen could have a run on him here. You may find that Renger Van de Zandt has got to be defensive here as they run along the back straightaway. You'll climb the hill. He's punching a big hole in the air for Hansen to try to eat into that gap, and he's going to go for it.
Down the back straight, can Hansen get him coming into the inner loop? He goes to the outside, takes a look. Phil Hansen to the right. They come together coming into the bus stop.
Oh, argy-bargy there, but Hansen just sends a beautiful move. He's got confidence in that race car. They're coming off a 2-day test here last month. He is absolutely flying.
This was a minute ago, Cal.
Yeah, there's a problem with the brakes there. They have been working with the braking package on this system. It could just be some debris there that's caught flying. It could not be a big issue, but as soon as they send it, let's hear what's going on, Chris.
Yeah, and you guys are watching the video now of the fire in that brake rotor on the left rear. They called Dirk Mueller back into the pit box. He's going to come creeping to a halt here. They thought they had a brake issue as well on that last opening stint of the run. And so obviously now those problems are starting to multiply here as they'll take the hood off and really get to work and diagnose this problem here for Dirk Mueller. But not what they needed, as you guys mentioned. A lot of momentum coming into this race, but now Mueller's stuck here on pit lane.
Could be interesting because he's mired in the gravel trap. Somebody else has to be involved.
Let's find out who that somebody is. Oh, it was an LMP2 car. Wow, from behind.
Approach curves on strike entry. Just the braking point in a prototype versus GT car will be a little bit different. George just missed his marks there a little bit, but the consequences, as we said, old school racetrack, big impact there with the front end of that Ferrari.
Lamborghini has run that over in the World Endurance Championship as well. Ran at Le Mans last weekend, now challenging the Glen.
Yeah, in its early days of this Lamborghini project, they're running just the endurance events here. They started at Sebring, didn't run at the Rolex. Big move there by the Proton, number 5. That's Jimmy Bruni, the Italian behind the wheel, the legend. So much experience, and that gives the number 10 car, Ricky Taylor, a run.
Caldarelli hangs on to that position, but here comes Taylor in the blue Acura.
There's the 25 car who documented their struggles here this weekend. They're still very much in this fight, trying to follow up on their victory here from last year. They didn't win on the road, didn't see the checkered flag first. With the 6 car having a technical infraction post-race, they got awarded the victory. Brake issues here for the number 3. Reports are Alex Sim was getting a long brake pedal. And this is really going to hurt, but they got to make this quick, man. Stay on that lead lap if they can.
And he is in. You can going to work to take off those Michelins and go to work on the brakes. Cal, you documented what he was feeling behind the wheel with that brake package. They had the spare brakes sitting up on the wall, ready to go through and make a brake change as they're going to work right now. Like we touched on earlier, this is just one of the things with a new car you work through. You hate to say it, but new car blues that they have done so much testing and they continue to make so much gains that this is going to be a costly long stop here on the 3.
And even some of the teams work with it if you've got a left-handed or a right-handed mechanic who can get into that wheel well best and get these things reconnected quickly.
Appreciate our weather tech over the wall cam for those shots of the brake change on the 3, and they are gone. Jack Aitken had a moment, and it was a big one, by himself, in the lead, in the inner loop.
See their big slide there. I'm not sure if he ate out too much of the curb on the entry or on the right-hand side, and with these prototypes, that's a bit of a no-no, and that just got him off his game a little bit. So lucky to get away with it on board here with the number 9 Fab Motorsport McLaren. Might have just got that curb a little bit more than normal on the right-hand entry, Dave, and that just gave him that moment that he couldn't recover from, but so lucky that he escaped hitting anything hard.
Brings it to pit lane now, so, and it appears there'll be a driver change on this Cadillac as well.
Durrani ready to go.
Got a problem on the racetrack. That's the Sean Creech Motorsports. Joao Barbosa, heavy contact here. Guys bringing out a full course caution.
Up the top of the screen, and we've seen this crash multiple times this weekend. That looks just like Connor DeFilippe's crash in the BMW at the end of practice. Saw it also in Lamborghini Super Trofeo yesterday. It seems there's perhaps a bump on the curbing out there. I've not seen it in years past unless it rains, and the paint is always slick, but it seems like the drivers get up there on the curbing and the car just snaps away, and that's exactly what happened to Joao Barbosa.
Finishing up the 3rd full course caution of the day, Joao Barbosa walked away from a big crash outside of turn number 1. The field is in the hands of Dane Cameron. He will be on the gas at his discretion right there. Jordan Taylor in hot pursuit.
Yeah, he pulls the trigger, Dane Cameron, and Dane, one of those drivers looking to impress in the latter half of the season. Everybody wants to, whether you've got a contract in hand or not, but he wants to show that he can get the job done here at Watkins Glen. A good lead there. Also understand that there has been a pit lane incident during those pit stops, the 31, the 10, and the 25. That is under review by race control. You ride on board Acura chasing Porsche.
Here's what we think may have happened, Brian.
Far right side of the screen, top of the screen, you can just see the 10 there behind the bright red 40. 40 pulls out. Watch the 31
entering
the shot.
He was exiting as well. Yep. 31 is already. Oh, there he is. He was trying to enter. Yep.
31 kind of getting checked up. Man, it's busy. It's so busy.
Brian, you're behind the wheel. The track still has pretty good grip, but there are spots when there's not so much. What do you do?
Well, I mean, it's a really good question, Dave, because the way those weather's coming in, it's coming in from the south. The toe of the boot's going to get it first, and then it's just going to move up the racetrack. Watkins Glen is a pretty spread out racetrack. It's very long in its layout, and it's going to get to one end of the racetrack first. The problem is turns 1, 2, 3, 4, the climbing S's in the back straightaway are flat out in a downforce car. Rain tires aren't going to like it very much, but you're going to need them on the other end of the racetrack. So it's anybody's call. You want to stay on as long as you possibly can.
Chris.
Yeah, and the 25 BMW Team RLL car is in. That call was made for wet weather tires, but as you guys just mentioned it, is it hard enough? That was the decision-making process when they brought that car in. They did bolt on the wet weather Michelins. The question is, will the rain pick up? It looks like it will, but it's a gamble call here as the first GTP to put on wet weather tires.
Nose to tail. But again, just reiterating, Tandy's entry into pit lane was very late. Oh, and a big impact.
55 Mustang is in there. That is towards that pit in corner entry to turn 11. You see the white or the yellow line. That is the pit lane entrance. And the crash actually started coming off of turn 10. And I'm wondering, did you get up on the paint? You talked about it, Calvin, at the exit of turn 10 and hook back. But the 55 involved, the 27 Heart of Racing Aston Martin as well. Robichon behind the wheel of that entry.
Take a look. This is kind of the aftermath. This is the 27. You can see. I think he was maybe trying to miss some of the debris and just kind of tucked it back to the left. So that was Robichon seeing the moment up ahead and reacting to it.
You just want to sneak through there. You're trying to pick out as a driver, I would think, Calvin, the debris field and stay out of it. 27. Oh, there's the big hit for the 55.
Here we go, we'll go back to green.
Yeah, we're about to experience it. Nick Tandy up front on board the 6. Dane Cameron recently pitted on the lap 93, and a lot of these teams went back to slicks. I think it's the right call, but you're going to have your hands full in these first couple of laps. If you've been to the pit lane to put slicks on recently, Calvin, you're going to have to build some temperature and pressure while you're battling on the racetrack. Full course caution. It is out. I don't know if we have a car off or this is just because the conditions. There it is.
Behind Dane's machine. It's the exit of turn 10.
Yeah, there's the
right
paint.
that curve.
Oh, that was a big hit. And the debris is driver's right because it had the momentum and the energy and got slung that far. The leader can decide to pull the trigger. Cameron kind of stacking everybody up, going slow. He's going to wait late and go, trying to find the best RPM range for that Porsche power plant in the back, and then he pulls the trigger and it's on it. Big jump by Cameron.
Yeah, super smart there. What he didn't want to do to suddenly rock through that corner and slide, so he just really controlled that, almost turned it into a drag race down this front straightaway, just point and squirt in a straight line. That takes away some of the risk factor.
One of the Corvettes coming to pit road immediately on this restart. Look how damp it is offline going up through the climbing S's.
Yeah, we believe most of these GTP runners are on the slick tire, Brian. Yeah, and then there's a strong rumor mill at this time of the year, and you know, no one's committing to anything or no announcements have been made, but here we see some side-by-side action. Craziness there between the 10 and the 7. That is for the lead. Philippe Albuquerque sweeps around Dane Cameron. Not sure if that was a run up through the S's where some traffic was involved, but nonetheless, WTR Andretti go to the front. Part of that rumor mill was, will they still be campaigning these Acuras for next year, or making the switch to Cadillac, and does that open up the door for maybe Meyer-Shank or some other operations to campaign these Acuras? But let's focus on this race right now. It's heating up, Brian.
If Philippe Albuquerque, what a move, has gotten around, as you said, Dane Cameron, and when you look at the amount of time they've had on their Michelin tires, it's the exact same amount, so it's not like Dane should be dealing with tires that are going away. They've been out there the same period of time. Now the 0-1 working around the 31. Remember, the 31 a lap down, trying to hold on to this group. He wants that lap back. Tom Bloomquist behind the wheel. Let me add to your little rumor mill a little bit. Tom Bloomquist.
Yeah, there's the run. I think there might be traffic there with that Corvette that delayed Cameron a little bit. A little bit of argy-bargy there in terms of trying to get that turn-in point for the inner loop.
Problem here for Iron Lynx, their Lamborghini.
Just we're trying to fill up the radiator with water. They're having overheating issues for Andrea Caldarelli. They've already lost now almost 4 laps in this process as they're trying to now get it refired. Of course, it's been a tumultuous day. They've been up and down, but they really thought they were starting to find the notebook in building this SC63 Lamborghini that made its debut at Daytona, but now it's to the garage, and it looks like just the bad day goes worse here for the Lamborghini.
50 minutes to go, so less than the standard sprint race that the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship runs, and a little breathing room. Again, the strength of Albuquerque and that Acura seems to be turn 1, turn 11 and turn 1, and now Tandy with a good run, trying to close back in just a little bit at the end of the straightaway, and a lot of traffic in front. Ricky Taylor earlier saying they needed Al Roker with them. Matt, what do you have on the weather quickly?
Well, team strategists are telling their drivers it's about 10 minutes away, the next rain shower that they're expecting. So you're seeing slicks and rain tires being shuffled back and forth to the wall.
Speaking shuffle back and forth, Albuquerque just gets shuffled back to second. What a move by Nick Tandy. You said aggressive, and that was confidence to get it done. He believed from the time he made the move, Calvin, that that position was his. Tandy to the lead.
Incredible. Just talk about putting it all on the line and pulling it off. Just great job by Nick Tandy.
And look at the distance that he has already been able to put between himself and the Acura of Albuquerque. Again, Calvin, I wonder, I'm looking right now, Albuquerque and Cameron both stopped on lap 93. Tandy was 98, and Yellow Lead Bourdais 95, 96. 3 laps really make that much difference on those Michelin tires?
It can. I don't think they fall off a cliff, but certainly a tire deg on a high-energy track like this is certainly a big factor, Brian. But these two certainly seem to be in a bit of a league of their own. You can see how much they dropped the pack. You can see Cameron and company just entering the inner loop as they're now heading down into the boot. That's our championship leader in GTD Pro, the number 77 from AO Racing. They're having a decent day right now, sitting in top 5, and here comes the rain once again. Here it is.
We knew it was coming.
It is.
And it is here.
It's dumping on pit lane. The Penske guys are up on the wall with the wet weather tires, with the signboards out. They called their cars to pit lane.
I'll be amazed if everyone survives these conditions. We don't see yellow. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
And like you said, Calvin, it's like all of a sudden, you talked about it earlier, stepping out of your shower onto, a marble floor and having it be slick, or running across and jumping on the ice skating rink in tennis shoes. It's just, you had grip and then you didn't.
It will catch out the best drivers in the world, and certainly some of those are included in this group that are in the fence right now. Guys like Rory Spinelli, he has a ton of experience in conditions like this, and it caught him out. There's just nothing you can do.
Coming to the green, 16 minutes and a half left. Louis Delatraz, Felipe Nasser, Renger van de Zande, Mathieu Jaminet, the first 4 cars. Delatraz is on it. He can see the checkers from here, but he's not going to be unchallenged. Felipe Nasser already looking in the Porsche.
Championship leader going for it. He's got to be careful. It's really damp there. He pushes down to the inside. Watch for the 0-1 of Renger van de Zande and get a run as they come off the corner.
Van der Zande's going to try for second around Delatraz. Through the S's. Will they take it 2 by 2? Yes, they will. But Van der Zande's going to prevail.
Played that perfectly. You said it, Calvin. Coming into turn 1, he watched the 2 cars battling in front and said, this is going to give me the momentum. He takes it. Delatraz back to 3rd, but what a move by Nasser.
Yeah, that was it. Unbelievably well timed there by Felipe Nasser, being on the money, coming off that final corner, gets the run, goes down to the inside, where it's a little bit sketchy with the dampness in the racetrack, but he pulled it off, and now he's on his way. But don't count out Renger van de Zande. That Cadillac is hooked up. Here comes the second Penske Porsche. Jaminet to the inside Delatraz. Delatraz goes from the lead down to P4 in half a lap.
Jaminet will get 3rd.
Not too many of these drivers have been confirmed as yet. Oh, that was a late move there down to the inside. That's Felipe Fraga. Oh, and he's around. Just pinched it too much, trying to come off the corner and loses it.
Is that the 2?
He collects the 2 with him.
Yeah,
Ben Hanley with him. There's Fraga going for the move there. Was that on Nielsen?
It was on Nielsen. Yeah, and Hanley had nowhere to go. He just suddenly logs out to take evasive action. So that was for the lead, I believe.
Contact there with the 04.
And there is Ben Hanley limping back in the number 2 LMP2 car. He'll take it to pit lane.
The battle behind.
I know.
It's intense. That plan between GTD Pro and GTD is insane.
It is just wild all the way around Watkins Glen right now. They know it's under 10 minutes to go.
Sure they do, and the crews have already looked at it, and they're not giving them time to go. They're giving them, they know how many laps there are that remain, and they're sitting here saying you've got 3 to go, 5 to go, whatever the number is. Focus forward, and that's what Tommy Miller's doing right now. Like I said, it's like qualifying. Every lap right now needs to be inch perfect. Like you said, Calvin, what does Ross Gunn have? How much VP fuel is in the tank?
A year ago, disappointment with a technical infraction for Porsche Penske Motorsports. This year will not be the same. The Porsche Penske number 7 and Felipe Nasser, victory at Watkins Glen.
Kind of scared me for a moment.